February is a special month to go bass fishing in. And in this video, I'm about to go over 6 lures. 3 that I've had success with during this month, and then 3 that are new. 3 that I'm going to test and see if I have success with or not, to let you know on this channel for your future opportunities of fishing, guys. Thank you for tuning into the Fishing Coach YouTube channel. I'm Coach E. And guys, I'm going to share a bait that I've had success with, and then a new bait, or a new type of bait, a new technique. And then I'm going to go back and forth that way, okay? So I'm going to go over one that I have had success with, and then new, okay? Boom, 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 boom. Guys, now let's get into this right here. So February, like I said, is special. I love fishing this month. I've had a lot of great fishing trips. Last year, February changed my business. I had a client catch a 12.5-pound largemouth down here in Arkansas, Lake de Grey, and even that right there was a special moment for me. Even last year, I caught my personal best at 11. I've had 2 double digits before that, and then I caught the 11 last year. So this month, and then I've had another double digit in Arkansas, and another double digit during the month of February too. So this month is a big month of fishing. You have a lot of fish there in those winter patterns or winter areas, but they're starting to think about spawning, so they're starting to show up. Some can be caught shallow, some are going to be caught in that 20 to 30 foot range, and that's one thing that makes this month, I think, you know, a special one. Now, it's still winter fishing. You still have your ups and downs. It's not always a grand slam. You're going to have some strikeouts. That is part of it. Let's talk about bait number 1. Bait number 1 is one, guys, that it's for my shallower water area, guys. I know I didn't grow up. I lived at Lake Millwood for 6 years. And this is a lure for Lake Millwood, or a shallow lowland area, and even like a Lake Fork, or a smaller, shallower lake, depending where you're at. I'm saying Lake Forks is kind of an example, but it's going to be a bladed jig. This is just the original chatterbait. I know there's the jackhammer, there's a slobber knocker. I got a whole box of them. I just grabbed out the original bladed jig. But guys, in February, when you get those couple warm days, and I'm saying warm days, 50s, 60s, all of a sudden, after a cold spell, and you have that stained and muddy water, there's a lot of fish are going to pull up on them flats. They're going to get up there next to that wood. And like I said, these fish, they're not spawning, but they're thinking about it. You know, they know that something's happening. Go ahead and catch it on a full moon. Let's say you get a full moon and you get some warm days. Those dudes are going to move up, and it gives you a chance, and a bladed jig is a perfect scenario for them, guys. What I'm going to use on the bladed jig is a Level MGX 7.2 medium heavy fast. All my baits and tackle is going to be down in the description. Now, in my clear water lakes that I fish, I will be using fluorocarbon. Let's say it's more that stained, muddy, shallower water. I'm going to use monofilament. Keep this thing up higher in that water a little bit, because I'm fishing 4 foot or less. And so I'm going to be using mono, okay? And like I said, let's say it's an oxbow, okay? An oxbow lake even. This guy right here can catch them. Okay, now let's talk about the first new bait that I'm going to be trying. And I've made a video on this last year even, and I just didn't go out, and I didn't have much luck with it a couple times, and I lost the confidence. But I'm going to be trying it here some more. It's a big soft plastic belly swim bait. This is the 6-inch well paired with a core tackle tush swim bait hook. So the core tackle tush is 7/0 hook here, multiple sizes, but you have your 1/4 ounce, 1/2 ounce, 3/4 ounce. I have a few down here in the deck, and in the May to June, I caught them on this thing. Caught them really good. I had a lot of confidence in it. But for some reason in the winter, guys, I got to get confidence with it. And I know there's areas in lakes that they hit this. You watch, and I hear about them Texas lakes, them Oklahoma lakes, but here in Arkansas, I got to find something about this big soft plastic swim bait for the winter time period. Now, guys, one thing about it, okay, I will say, I think it depends on your bait fish or the type of forage in the area. If you have a lake with a bunch of gizzard shads, I think it's good. Let's say you're in an area where there's not much bait fish, but there's crappie. Guys, on one of my forward fishing trips recently, we caught some fish in an area. There was no bait in the area, but there was a crappie in one of their throats. Okay, a 2-pound fish had a baby black crappie down there in its throat. Okay, so I think that's a time where you can throw the bigger swim baits. Okay, now guys, let's go to the next lure, and this one here is a staple for the winter. Okay, it is a staple. It's the Alabama rig. Okay, so I have 2 types of Alabama rigs I'll talk about, but something about the Alabama rig, I know in the winter, and I'm gonna kind of keep seeing. You know, I've not thrown it as much this last winter due to me having a lot more confidence in the minnow, and I've just, you know, I'm fishing them in different spots, but I mean, I've caught one of my biggest bass with it. I've had some good days. This thing wins tournaments, definitely in February. One thing about it though is I'm kind of making this more of a shallower bait. So like 30 foot or less, okay? I'll change the jig heads out to even fish it in 0 to 10, okay? But that's one thing I know. Before I was fishing it in that 30 to 60 foot range, but now that's kind of more of other lures I'm fishing in that zone, okay? But with this Alabama rig, this is the Black's Custom Lure Widowmaker right here. I'm looking at the lines all jacked up. My guy that threw it the other day, if he's watching Big Fish James, I had someone come, he backlashed and tore it up, and I'm about to have to fix it right now. That's one thing I'm about to do. But that's the Black Custom Lures Widowmaker, and then right here I got the other one, the Diamond Baits, you know, and this is a different little Alabama rig. One thing, guys, I'll say is have different Alabama rigs. You know, if you have your confidence in one brand, that is okay, but I like to have different ones ready, because there are times I've watched them eat that thing and not eat a flash mob, and there's times they're crushing a flash mob and they're just crushing a flash mob. Or like this one right here, something about the design of this head and with the way like they all move, this one will catch them too. But something I like about this head different than the minnow head at times, okay? I'm throwing down a 7/8 heavy fast. I like the longer rod to get the longer. I'm throwing on fluorocarbon. I know guys that throw it on braid. And like I said, play through jig heads, play through jig beds on the Alabama rig. Swim baits, kind of, I do a multiple, those are 6-inch swim baits there. I throw a multiple different types of swim baits. Guys, let me share with you real quick. This video today is brought to you by Futural Marine. They're right now the Icon exclusive dealer in the state of Arkansas. Guys, if you're interested in checking out one of the top boats right now in the country, and guys, they're sweet. I hope to be in one in the future. You know, but guys, I'm going to tell you what I learned a lot of little things about them when I got to meet with the Icon guys, and just kind of, I've been in 3 of them on my on the water lessons, but guys, I'm very, very impressed with them, okay? Recently, Jacob Wheeler and Hunter Shyrock, 2 of the pros, took them things from like Florida and drove them to the Bahamas. They drove them through the ocean, okay? There's a video and stuff out there with them. The biggest thing is that I like about them is they're safe. They're very, very comfortable boats, but they're safe. And I know for me, I get nervous riding big water. And guys, Lake Ouachita is like one of my bigger lakes, and it'll get 3, 4, 5 foot waves. I don't fish those big Great Lakes or like the Texas lakes, Sam, Rayburn, and Toledo. But guys, if I went to those lakes, I mean, like I'm kind of getting nervous when there's big waves and wind, because I'm not as comfortable, and I've not done as much with it in my experience. And so like Ouachita can hide and go around mountains and stuff. So, but that Icon boat's a very safe boat. Okay, guys, now let's get to the next bait. The next bait for me to test, and I've been testing it, and I'm going to continue to test it, is the Wacky rig in the winter. Now, this is a special technique right now. This is with the Core Tackle Wacky Shot. This is designed to fish a Wacky rig wherever you want to. Laydowns, cypress trees, grass, with the old weed guard, and we have the design weight here with the there's a screw lock there that's holding this thing. This was designed by Matt, Stephan, and Johnny. Now with me on forward facing sonar, I'm going to try to continue to practice throwing this at suspended fish, but throwing it at a fishing cover, grass. Okay, we've been throwing this at some of them grass edges at Ouachita, when those fish don't want the Alabama rig or the jerkbait. Brush piles. One thing about this, it is drawing big fish out of brush piles. I've not gotten them to eat it. I got to learn. There's something to it. You know, and then Johnny's caught fish with it. He's caught more fish with it than me. And there's something, though, to the Wacky rig, okay? And like I said, I know I've thrown it suspended fish and caught them with it. I've shaken it just like a minnow. But this is something I think can change the game for fishing in the whole upcoming year. So this is something I'm going to continue to test. Now, my next lure that I've had success with in the winter, and guys, I've had a lot of lures in February that I've had success with. Like I didn't even talk about the jig in this video. As a jig did have one of my personal best at Lake Ouachita. It actually still does, but it was one of my personal best for a while for Arkansas until some other fish got caught. But guys, it's the minnow. So here's a 1/2 ounce head with a Strike King Baby Z2. I throw a variety of the head sizes, 1/4, 3/8, 3/16, throwing it on a variety style, different heads and different minnows. But that's just the Baby Z2, throwing the level NGX7 1 medium light. Okay, I put all this down there on the rod, on the line and everything. I'm throwing this the same on this, by the way. But guys, with the minnow, what I've learned about it, it's not about throwing at suspended fish. You can throw this at fish that's going to be on points on a rock that's on the bottom. There's going to be fish that are going to be in the grass. There's so many different ways to fish this that I'm continuing to learn about, and I'm going to continue throwing. Last year, the 12-pounder was caught on a minnow bait. It was actually caught on a baby, the fluke junior. My 11 pounder was caught on the baby Z2, and that was a rock pile. That was a fish I didn't even see. I was just teaching one of my clients, hey, look, you can throw at rock spots and you don't see them, and then they'll come up, and if they're there, they'll come up and check it out, and now you know they're there, and you can go back if you don't catch them with a jig. And so I threw it out there, worked over that rock spot. That fish came up and ate it, and it was a big fish. Okay, so a lot of good things about the minnow. I've had a lot of success with it. I've had people come recently and do forward-facing sonar trips just to learn this, and I've had a lot of people be very happy with it. But that comes with me spending a lot of time on the water learning this thing and teaching people about it as well. Okay, so now guys, the last one. Okay, let's go to the last lure that I want to kind of figure out in the winter, February. Guys, I've caught with the hair jig before. This is a baby hair jig, the old gray hair jig. I've had success with this. This right here has caught them, but I want to throw the bigger hair jig in the winter. I want to find out, I mean, if they're going to eat that Alabama rig and eat a bigger baits like that Swimbait, why not eat a bigger hair jig? Now, this is the Cumberland Pro. This is a 3/8 ounce size, but there's the shuttlecock, the True Bass shuttlecock. And what I want to learn is, like, I've caught them with grass at a Washita with this, or in timber. But, like, can I throw this at suspended fish? Or are there fish on the bottom that'll eat this? I threw this actually the other day at some fish on the bottom in a creek channel, and they wouldn't eat it. They wouldn't eat anything, though. I came back and threw it there. They wouldn't eat anything. I mean, we've caught bass there. Like, I caught bass there 2 days prior. We came back, and they were pretty smart and educated. But the hair jig is something I really want to see if we can get figured out for the winter. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna throw this on light line. That's one thing about the hair jig, 10 or 12 pound test. Even in the summer, I'm throwing this thing on light line. I like it light with the fall. Something with that hair breaking up in that fall works really, really well. Okay, guys, appreciate you. Let me know your baits for the winter, if there's something you like to learn or get better at. Now, guys, let's get to the Fate Use segment. What's up, guys? Welcome to Fate Use, part of the episode. I'm in my truck right now picking up some medicine for the family. And guys, we've had the bug hit our house, strep throat hit our house, and it's kind of the first time for me to where, like, multiple people are sick, been pretty sick real bad. I had the bug. I mean, guys, I had a bad stomach bug. And something I've had to do the past couple days is I've had to pray. I've been praying a lot. I've been praying a lot and really being heavily on it. Not just for us to get better, but just for me to be able to handle it with the kiddos, with the 3-year-old, handle the wife, how to do this, patience and just decision making. Because when you get really, really that sick, like I was, and how like the kids and everybody's been, okay, I'm now moving up in the line. Let me wait. Okay, guys, got the medicine, and this is like the only time I can film a Fate Use right now. My video, this is Thursday. My video's coming out tomorrow. The video's been edited for like 3 days, and I've been meaning to film one of these. So, but what I was kind of getting to is during the sickness, me having the bug and all that, I was really praying a lot, more than normal, and it all wasn't about me getting over it and better. And I mean, there was some of that in there, like, you know, I was asking the Lord, please help me get over this. But then it was also had to still be the man and the father of the house with everybody else sick and then getting sick. So relying heavily on prayer past couple days, and it started making me think, man, I should probably be praying more. And I think I pray a lot, but there's this kind of weeks and seasons you kind of don't pray as much. So kind of might have been a little eye-opening to me, like, hey, I need to be praying more. And it's not always asking, it's you can thank. I give a lot of thanks in my prayers. We do that a lot with my kids right now. When we pray at dinner or at night, when I put my 3-year-old down and we pray every night, we give more thanks than ask. And I always tell them, like, hey, we got to be thankful for our health, for what we have, anything. I mean, like, everything we have, we got to be thankful for. So just kind of, there you go on the Fate Use part. Prayer, how's your prayer life? Where's that right now? And appreciate you guys. Come back to the Fish Coach YouTube channel.